I'm Jose, black dude with a Spanish name. I'm here with Jasmine Bowdry. I got it right. Emotional response. And a lot of times we're not even thinking about the response. If the oceans were still, one drop would cause tidal waves at the shore. Every person I come in contact with, I'm doing drops. Things that you do great, we 3X, we 10X those. Your non-talents, we make them small. What has been the best thing about doing this show?
And this means freedom, self-awareness, expression. And this to me means you can be more than one thing. I'm Jasmine Bowdry, and you're listening to And This Podcast. Welcome to another episode of And This. What was on here? It don't even matter. Y'all are going to get everything from our guest, Jose, aka Black Dude with a Spanish name. I am so excited to welcome him to the show. Welcome to And This, Jose.
I get welcome. I love it, and I appreciate you having me. And this. First of all, I just want to know, are you excited just to be here?
Yes.
I'm asking you questions.
Oh, I see. Well, damn.
That's how we do it. I'm proud of you, too.
Thank you. Thank you. I
This
appreciate you.
is nice. I made it on season 2.
I appreciate you.
We're going to start about talking about my watch.
That you just took off this Apple Watch? Because why would you have on 2 watches?
I'm gonna be honest with you. One is for show and one is for flow. So the other one is for function. I use this one for function because I work out.
But you're not working. But you're not working out right now.
Right. But again, it's still functional.
But
ladies and gentlemen,
you want to count your steps
from
the couch to the podcast?
Hey, it might be, but I took it off because the studio audience said we had to take it off.
The studio audience.
You know what I'm saying? So we are
here.
Before we get started too, we were talking about concerts, right? Off mic, right? And one of the things I want to know, when you're up in the suites, right? In the suites, I think they overrated.
You think the suites are overrated?
Yeah, because if you think about it, you up there really with the nosebleed people.
But it's like drinks and food.
I'm just saying. We went to a Maxwell concert.
It's like uninterrupted view.
It definitely is. We went to a Maxwell concert. Shout out to Maxwell. He did his thing. But to even record with your phone, you got to put it on that 3X. Shout out to the Androids that got the 5X.
Not Android.
You know what I'm saying? But anywho, I'm sorry.
We went from
let's go
Apple Watch to Android. There are just so many. My God.
I told you it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have some fun. You done dressed down for me today. Look like you about to work out and perform. Down. Yeah. Got the heels and the workout outfit.
Well, honestly, the sneakers didn't go.
Okay.
Right. And so
can they shoot? Y'all got a shoe
dressing up a tracksuit.
There it is.
You know, with a heel makes it a little more of what we would call like elevated casual.
I like it. Just make sure we get a shoe cam next season or this season.
Elevated casual.
Okay.
But you came with the signature black.
Look, I gotta always be on brand. Look, here's the crazy part, because we're gonna talk about brand.
I mean, but no, because I saw you literally suited and booted. Okay.
Right.
Suited and booted. So you have that ish that you can put on.
I definitely do. Here's the crazy part though. When I have that ish, because I don't cuss. When I have that ish that I do put on, people don't recognize me. And there's an uncomfortableness in regards to people who don't recognize you. Think about it. If you ever Google Beyonce, what's the normal thing you would see in regards to all her pictures? Blonde hair, flowing, probably got a fan blowing in the wind.
Perhaps.
But if she had like a Holly Berry bob, y'all would look at her like she was crazy. Like,
she did a bob a couple years ago.
Oh, you being too specific. You know what I'm saying. You understand what I'm talking about. So what happens is when you're consistent in the space in which you look like, there's comfort in that.
Hear you, right? But
people had thought I was bald.
Yes, I too thought you were bald. Because the hat is definitely the signature.
It's definitely, and it's nothing on it too. It's always got to have.
Yeah, it's just black. Oh, see, camera. He has hair. But my thing is like there are different levels to like the all black, right? And what I find, particularly with like men in this entrepreneur space, is that y'all just like to do like hoodies and jeans.
Once the fall weather broke,
hoodies,
oh my goodness,
and basketball shorts.
And joggers.
But there are levels to black. There are textures You know, there's leather. Whoa. There's like waffle print. There's silk.
Let's go back to this leather thing.
You know, there are so
many.
Ain't
that like hot, sweaty a little bit?
We're in fall. You know, seasons change.
One thing I like to do is stay ventilated.
But you have on a hoodie.
Right, but it's a ventilated. If I had a leather hoodie on right now, you would look at me like I was crazy. 2, you would look at me because I'd be burning up in this drink.
Are you hot in the hoodie?
Not in a leather one, I would be though. And this, I'm Jose, black dude with a Spanish name. We are here with Jasmine. Jasmine, you know, I've known you for a while. I don't even know how to pronounce your last name.
Oh, man.
I know I ain't the first one.
Dang.
How you pronounce it?
Bowdry.
Bowdry. Not bow dry.
Not bow dry, not bow dry. Bowdry.
Bowdry.
Yeah.
Okay. This is And This. I'm Jose, black dude with a Spanish name, AKA. We ain't even doing AKAs right now. I'm here with Jasmine Bowdry. I got it right.
Jose's.
I got it right. You got some questions for me? Can I see one of them cards real quick?
No.
Please, is it real? Are they real? I always be wondering. Real. So I run a lot of shows, right? And sometimes we will have the actual cards. There ain't nothing on the cards, just for show.
No,
you got real questions on there?
Questions on the card, man.
Okay, well,
damn.
Let's get this thing started.
Listen, you know what I'm talking about? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Because I just learned, I think you just told me this a couple months ago. You used to be a rapper. And I was like, no, you weren't.
Go there.
I was like, no, you weren't.
Yo, we got a lot of connections. Yes.
Like, no, you
I'm
weren't.
not even going to talk about it.
I was like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. And you were like, no, I was. And so I need to hear more about this because I've only known you as the digital course whisperer, the man behind some of the top motivational speakers, personal brands, gurus, experts. But you were a rapper at one point.
Yeah, so it's funny because when I was 16, I used to rap on the radio. Shout out to all my DMV people, WPGC 95.5, WKYS. Maryland, yeah. Anybody know about that Maryland? But I used to rap on the radio, and I would call in, and then what would happen is they say, hey, come to the studio. Came to the studio. I was 16. I hosted my first club, DC Live, at 16. So young, my sister had to take me. First time I drank too. My mama don't know that. I think she know now, but she watched the show too. Hi, Mom. Doing that, and then one day I was actually working at Waxy Maxi. Shout out to Waxy Maxis. Anybody, you ever been to Waxy Maxis?
No.
Waxy Maxis like Tower Records almost.
Oh.
And some people like, yo, he know what he talking about. Yeah, Waxy Maxis, and I used to sell CDs and things in there. And my dog Genuine came in there. And I rap for him.
You rap for Genuine, the singer. So anxious.
Yeah, so anxious.
In those jeans.
In those jeans. Yes. And then he was.
But why was Genuine looking for a rapper though? Like he was an R&B.
He wasn't.
Oh, and you just was like, oh, Genuine, let me spit a bar.
Yeah, I was like, let me go. And the funny part, the rap, and I do not remember it because I know you probably like, do you remember it? I had a rap in it, and his name was in it, which was crazy. I didn't think about that.
Okay.
And so we had this bond that we had created, and then together we created Bag Entertainment. So if you listen to that on that album within those jeans, it'll say Bag Entertainment Presents. And yeah, the rest is history. So we probably total got 17 to 20 songs together, but the Cheddar Brains was the first one, another one called So I Apologize, and then Batteries remix with Trina, which is about. Now, mind you, I'm a clean rapper. Again, I don't cuss or nothing like that. So can you imagine rapping on a song about batteries for toys?
Interesting.
So if y'all go back and listen, you'd be like, oh, I see what he did there. Anywho, Jose, black dude with a Spanish name. That's where actually featuring Jose came from.
Oh, really? From?
Yeah, because if you look at the back of the CD, it'll say featuring Jose Sequentes. Sequentes, they like, where you get that from? I named it when I created when I was in the shower. One day I was just in the shower washing up, and I was already Jose for the last 15 years, now going on 30 years. Since Quintez just came up, people say they try to make it into something that means 100 or something. No, I created it. It don't mean nothing. And it's
created what?
Cinquentes, Cenquentez.
So like you made up a Spanish name? Okay.
Yes, Jose black dude with a Spanish name. So it said featuring Jose Cinquentes.
I just dropped the last name.
Cinquentas, and that's where featuring Jose came from.
Okay. Got it. But how? So with the rap career, with Genuine.
Why you keep doing it? I don't like the way you're doing that.
Because I'm trying to put it together. I don't remember
What's your connection to Genuine?
I don't have one. I mean, like, you know.
Are we doing that?
R&B heartthrob.
I'm about to say inquiring minds want to know.
No, there is no connection.
I look at your camera too. Don't. No.
Okay. But I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
Like, did he have songs with that featured rappers? Maybe I just missed it. I'm gonna go back and listen.
I mean, as far as we started a label, so
in
regards to pushing his artists, I myself.
You were an artist on the label. Okay, it's clear. Now we got it.
Yeah.
Kind of like what when he was under like Devontae and like
no, that's
Missy.
way back. Yeah, that's.
But I'm saying when he was starting though.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Okay.
It's a little bit harder coming under R&B. Let's talk about branding and stuff.
We're trying to get to how you got to branding. How did you get here from rapping and probably thinking that's the career path that you wanted to take to now being the man?
Nah, the crazy part, while rapping, I was also in retail. Was on tour as far as with Genuine, was in retail. And in retail, I started out working at Circuit City. Shout out to all my people who worked at Circuit City. Y'all know how we do. And at Circuit City, my mouth made my check. Meaning that we were full commission. And being that we were full commission, I then moved into a space of AT&T. I did car sales for a little bit. Then I worked at Verizon. And what happens is I noticed that I had a brand. Meaning that the same thing in regards to Verizon, we all selling the same products or services. We all selling cell phones, chargers, cases, and everything like that. But people were like, nah, I'm waiting for Jose. Now, mind you, they'll sit up in the front. Some of them eating donuts. Some of them were eating Popeye's chicken. They're like, no, I'll wait. And they'll wait for an hour, sometimes two, to see Jose. Now, mind you, they're going to spend a little bit more money with me also. But the experience that they got is what the reason why they would wait. Because they could have went with Jeff. Jeff brand new. He's going to make them spend a little bit less money. They're going to get in and out. But they said, nah, I need Jose. So one thing I'm teaching in regards to branding, and I know that's what I was doing even then, was there's an irrational emotional response to everything that you do. There's people you going to either like me, you're going to hate me, you're going to feel like I got some value out of this or what have you. But there's an irrational emotional response to this black dude with a Spanish name, or even Jasmine Baldry. I did it right.
Yep.
I get excited when I do stuff right. But what will happen is that people will attract themselves to you, attract themselves to your products, to your service. They will wait in line for you just so you can spend more money with them. They will come get your ebook. They will come get your webinars. They will come to your shows. They will come to your live podcast. Yo, the And This live podcast is coming to a city near you. 2025, fourth quarter. I need y'all to understand. Get your tickets now. There is no link in the description, but it will be on later episodes. I promise you. Let's go.
Sponsored by featuring Jose.
Black dude with a Spanish name. We appreciate
Boom.
You know
okay. Y'all got this, right? So when I asked for the check.
And this tour?
No.
That's dope, yo.
I cannot.
Can you imagine the fits that you would have for the And This tour?
Yeah, that would be dope. That'd be dope.
Just like you, when people think about you, and I'm sorry to interrupt, when people think about you, what do they think about? The first thing they think, stylist. Or style. So one thing you don't like is when people put you in a box.
Hey.
Right?
Yes.
Here's the thing about it. When you go to a networking event, right? And you meet 150 people. You have conversations with each one of them. Here's the thing about it. Your brain is going to automatically compartmentalize each and every person. Oh, that's the stylist. Oh, that's the one who...
And I don't like that.
Right, I understand, but that's how our brains work. That's why when people say, what you do? I say, yo, I do daycare out of the back of a van and I sell pit bull puppies. Why? Because they're going to remember that, but that's not what I do, right? But I'm always trying to throw them off just a little bit. Why? Because our brains are going to automatically compartmentalize. My whole thing, and what I do in regards to branding is if our brains are automatically going to do that, I'm going to make that box that they're going to put us in the most plush, the nicest, most relaxing box that you will ever. I can name any person that's an influencer. Your name, you're going to automatically associate them with something.
Right.
Word association. So if our brains automatically do that, all we're doing is, okay, let me make sure that I'm giving them the correct pieces so they can associate me with the right thing.
But to that point, if you have multiple pieces, how do you still ensure that you are, telling that correct narrative and story? So when I do go to networking events, which is rare,
you like just point that out. Okay, like that. Let's go.
Don't be outside. But when I do, right, there are some people that may know me. Oh, she's the stylist. But there are others that may know me like, oh, she was like a former retail buyer, right? She knows a lot about like e-commerce and retail strategy. I'm trying to launch a product business. Let me talk to her. And so do you find yourself kind of being a chameleon in certain settings?
No.
To gravitate to the audience?
What you want to do is first off, we're humans, right? So we're multifaceted. People don't know. I like to go on YouTube and watch stuff about the universe. I used to want to be a magician.
Oh.
I'm scared of butterflies. Like, these are different things that make up pieces.
Why are you scared of butterflies?
It's the flapping. There's a real thing too. Shout out to
do you
everybody
not like
else.
Birds?
I'm scared of birds too. Now a bird can hop around here, and I'm cool.
And you good, but
soon as the wings open,
that's it. That does it.
I promise you, this will be. I left my lady one time. She thought I was playing. Again, we're gonna be back to the question, but she thought I was playing. I said, babe, there's a tree up here, and the bird got me. My squad, they thought I was playing too. I said, all right, cool. So I walked out there. I saw the bird. I said, babe, there go the bird. So I'm recording her. The bird hit her in her back. I was gone. Almost messed my ankle up. Man, what? I'm not playing with no birds. Like, it could have had like a baby nest or something like that. That's crazy. I'm not doing that. And I know butterflies can't hurt me. I know people always say, the butterfly can't hurt you. They're so beautiful. I get that. Like a wasp or a bee, I'm cool.
Really? See, I can't do wasp or bees.
Yeah, it's the wings. But back to what I was saying. We are multifaceted individuals, right? The thing about it, though, we can do multiple things, but truly, we can only be known for one. No, wait. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it. Now, most of the time, people will say, Jose, when I met you, you was the videographer. I don't do video. I don't do photo, nothing no more. Right? But one of the things that we have a common, a friend, my guy CJ used to always say, he's like, bro, you are able to tell stories through the back of a camera in that box, that confines of that box on the back of a camera, right? And in that, you are able to impact people. I'm still doing the exact same thing. It's just a different vehicle. So what I'm saying is, when you said you were a retail buyer, you said you were a stylist, what else are we doing? And this is about style. Look, this is nice. This is style. I'm just saying, this is style. Even your outfit, this is style. Everything leads to one thing, because if people don't know you for anything, they won't know you.
And I get that. Period. Basically, you're saying, like, what you're saying is the avenue or the lane, right? Like, I'm not out here being a retail strategist, a stylist, and then I'm doing taxes. Right, like my lane is still within
because I'm gonna promise you, I used to think, and I called it the Michael Jordan method. I wanted to do everything. Why? Because anything I touched, I did it at a B+ average or better. Everything. But then once I was looking at it, I was like, hold up. Because I looked at Michael Jordan, I was like, who was the best shooter? Okay, we got Steph. Who was the best free throw? We was like, who was the best 3-pointer? Who was the best rebounder? None of them was Jordan. But who do we consider as far as the best of all time? Jordan. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm the Michael Jordan of this. But then when I started to think about it, when Jordan went to baseball, he wasn't Michael Jordan. When he was a bowler or when he went to golf, he wasn't Michael Jordan. If he went to football, he wouldn't be Michael Jordan. What happened is Michael was a B+, A+, average, and all these different things that had to do with basketball. So what I'm saying in regards to whatever you're known as, all these different things that you're great at, the people going to know you for, just think about it as far as the elevator pitch. You're not going to say, you only got 30 seconds. You're not going to say, well, I'm a magician podcast, rapper on Genuine, 3 Genuine's albums. I produce podcasts as well as a show. Right. I have 20 million as far as courses sold with a 90% completion rate. I also collect shoes now, which I started late. I could go down the list of all the multifaceted I am, but what am I want them to remember me by?
Right.
Because I know you probably still got people in your phone. You be like, Jose, rapper, or Jose, like where you know them from, right? Where you met them from, and what they do. That's what our brains do. All I'm doing is just making it the best possible because we're going to automatically think that. You remember when Burger King tried to put out tacos? You probably don't remember that.
I do slightly. It didn't work.
Yeah, McDonald's tried pizza. Like you got to go with Okay, let's take it to another way. When they had new Coke. So Coke did a blind taste test, and they said, you know what? Everybody say this tastes better. So they came out with new Coke. Man, the stocks went down. The people started screaming from the hills, and they was like, nah, change that thing back. And mind you, it tastes better. But when they going to go with what they know, remember, it goes back to comfort, which is a full circle why Jose always got on a black hat and a black hoodie. I'm not playing with y'all out here in these streets, man, and this. Don't play with me. Okay, go.
I'm still for the textures of the different
you say leather.
But I get it though, because leather remember, like, no, do you remember though? To your point though, remember when on Power when they tried to switch that theme song to Trey Songz?
Yeah, Trey Songz. Get on your head.
What is that?
Get on your head, Trey Songz.
That was not.
Yep.
The people were living.
Mm-hmm. And if you do change, you got to make sure the level of consistency in there, because we got to think about it. We talking about the Power. Cosby Show changed theirs 5 times. Their theme song. Different World changed their joint 4. But it was still in the same.
It was still consistent. It wasn't drastic.
Well, I'm about to start singing. I ain't even going to do it. It's in my head, though. I know everybody's watching and singing it right now. Jessica was shaking her head, too.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I love it.
Hey, have you been liking our videos? Have you been tuned in, but you have not yet subscribed? Make sure you like, comment, review, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is click the subscribe button.
Going back to branding, right? Mm-hmm. Some of the people that you work with or work with, right? Big names.
Yep.
What do you do in terms of how you manage their brands? Give us a little rundown of like what your typical day is with your clients.
So a lot of people know me for like course creation also. Yeah. I didn't even.
That's good. I think I realized that. Like I was like, wait, now what now?
That's good. And the main reason I figured out, again, remember we talking about the vehicles.
We're going to talk about that.
Right? Yeah. So I'm going to go back, actually, because I don't even like to talk about all the big names. Main reason is, and CJ get on me about this, my biggest thing is I'm here to add value to the listener. I'm here to add value to whoever's in front of me. And if I don't, no harm, no foul. It's almost like getting into a new relationship. I'm not going to sit there and tell my new relationship, I used to rub her feet. I used to cook her salmon. I used to do this. I used to make sure I had her bath water. She don't care about that. Mm-hmm. Just like in regards to the value that I would add to somebody. They don't care about what I've done for somebody else, but what value can I add to you? So starting off as far as with somebody new, in regards to the brand, we're looking at what is the presence online. That's the first one, because again, we can't be at networking events. We work on as far as their speech. We get into the who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve? How are you different? I always say these are the pinnacles of what a brand is. Yep. Again, a lot of times people think who they are is what they do. I'm like, first off, that's the second question. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And then we always thinking about as far as who do you serve, right? Who are the people we actually talking to? And I always say that we're not looking at, because I used to teach this where it was saying, hey, we're looking at African-American women between the ages of 25 to 35 who live in single parent households or this, that, and the third. They get their news from Twitter. No. And the main reason I always say no is because what we're doing is focusing on the pain. And the pain doesn't have a demographic. Mm-hmm. So when I take my Excedrin, it don't say for 43-year-old African-American men who live in Atlanta, who used to live in the DMV, who used to rap on they don't say none of that. They say, hey, these are the symptoms that you have. Okay, cool. I always say to another one is, you seen a Pepto commercial, right? If you have heartburn, nausea, indigestion, upset stomach,
diarrhea.
There it is.
I know the song.
We're going to the pain, right? So we start talking about the pain. What are the specific pain points that your person or your audience is dealing with?
Yep.
And we know that person intimately. We work on that. We dig deep. I call it brand therapy, right? Because we're getting in deep. Then from there, we're talking about, okay, then we're going to figure out how we're different. Because if you like everybody else, I don't need you. And then we figure out what is the product or service that we put on there. It could be a program. I actually started doing courses because there was a tangible result in regards to me growing a brand to say, okay, this is how we're going to monetize.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, this is the easiest way. This is the way we can quantify it. This is the way that we can actually see that it's working. Okay, because otherwise you get followers. Nobody care about that.
Yeah.
How we monetize it. So that's when I came into courses, programs, ebooks, workshops, and things of that nature. But all of it truly is the foundation of the brand. And I'm big on that because I always use the example when I built my first house, right? We had the land, and you drive by there and you'll see the builder and they have their signs out there, right? And the land is flat. You drive like, yo, my house gonna be there. You see the vision, right? And then the first thing that they do is the builder comes in or the construction crew comes in, they come in and break ground. They dig a hole. So after they dig a hole, they create the basement, they lay the foundation, they put the pipe and the wiring, they make sure that thing is waterproof. And this could take months or so. Then they seal it off before they start building the house. Well, if you drive by that thing 3 to 4 or 5 months later, it still look the same as when you drove by there the first time.
Right.
People are not seeing the hard work that you're putting in. They're not seeing what's going on underneath. They're not seeing as far as the pre-work that you're doing for this. They're not seeing the webinars that you're on, the YouTube videos, the nights, the times that you're in your prayer closet. They're not seeing all that in regards to you building up your brand. All they see is the flash.
Yeah.
And just like that house, I can make it with a 2-car garage, 1-car garage. I can have 5 windows on the front. I can make it white. I can make it blue. I can make it more modernized. I can make it colonial. I can make it a Rambler. But what doesn't change? The foundation. So when we build up the brand, we build up as far as that foundation. I don't care if I put a workbook on there, a workshop, a book. I don't care if I put a course on there, a program. I don't care if you just say, I'm just going here and speak to the kids. The foundation of that thing, we work on that. I got too serious. I feel like I got too serious. Was I preaching to y'all?
No, that was good though. That was good.
I don't even know which camera. I'm gonna look at both of y'all cameras though. This we go.
I don't think a lot of people think of it like that, right? They typically think, very basic level in terms of like colors, logos, all of that. Yeah. That's my brand. You know, persona. Like you mentioned, 20 to 35-year-old, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So I appreciate you breaking it down to that level of granularity, because I don't think that most people think of their brand. And that is the way the thing that they should.
So we could talk about big brands. We look at Pepsi, right? And for some, they might think about the soda. But remember, I said it goes back to irrational emotional response. When I think of Pepsi, I think about my grandma. Why? Because she used to collect Pepsi bottles in the glass that was up on top of her shelf that was collecting dust, and they were collector's items, probably worth money. And she said, you better not bring no other soda up in this house. You bring a Coca-Cola or anything in here. Yeah. That's the feeling when I go into the grocery store. Again, emotional response. And a lot of times we're not even thinking about the response that we have with influencers, that we have with products, that we have with services. There's just a feeling. My job is to figure out what that feeling is. And then we got to magnify it. Think about it. You been in love before your first love? You can think about your first love. I want everybody right now, think about your first love. Just think about your first love. It could be puppy love. You could have been middle school. Could be elementary. You got it?
Yes.
All right.
Got it.
Why did you love him? Okay, I'm going to give some examples.
I was like,
you might...
13.
Okay, cool. That's good.
Why did you love somebody at 13? Because you think, little puppy love.
Right. It's a feeling, right? You can name all the attributes. You can say, well, the way they held my hand, or when they would hold my books. I had this one young lady who I thought I was in love with when I was in middle school, and she used to bring Kool-Aid in the little bags, and we take the little Kool-Aid out, and my fingers were red. That's what I remember. But I can't explain the feeling. I could go over all the attributes all day. But that feeling, you couldn't tell me nothing when I was there. That's what large companies spend millions upon millions of dollars of recreating the feeling. And it happens so great that you don't even know what's happening. Mm-hmm. You just don't know.
So how does that extrapolate to entrepreneurs, those that are, trying to grow, maybe not necessarily to be the multi-billion-dollar companies, but to create that same type of experience?
I love it. So we always talk about the know, like, and trust, right? We hear it all the time. And so I started to look at it and break it down, right? So first off, the word know, roughly 62 or more, I think probably 600 times in the Bible, the word know means to have sex or be intimate. They didn't say sex. Of course, they would say Adam knew Eve. Or so in regards to that, there was a level of intimacy. Here's the crazy part. A lot of times influencers or people, and I always say anybody you get in front of a camera or get in front of your phone, you are an influencer. But a lot of times with influencers, you're not letting your guard down. You're not being real. Like this whole conversation, I've been real. We've been going up and down. It's been a roller coaster. We done got serious. I done smiled, right? But I'm letting down as far as the guard of vulnerability, so you can at least see there's something about him I rock with. Probably my favorite cousin or my favorite cousin's favorite cousin. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is there's a level of intimacy. If you think about even your favorite influencers, you feel like you might know them. You might know as far as their family dynamic. You might know as far as their kid dynamic. You might even know what foods they eat. The ones that you don't rock with, you don't know them. Okay, cool. We got the like. I always say, is there somebody in your life right now? We're going to use this as an example. Somebody in your life right now that you like, that you might have hated. That might be a strong word. That you disliked before. Is there anybody?
That I
like right now.
Like now.
That you disliked when you first
previously disliked. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times I ask that question. They say, yeah, I'm married to him.
Oh.
But the main reason that is because that person that you potentially liked or even disliked, there's a bridge, right? So you have yourself, you have them. Either y'all had a common bond, could be a trauma bond, it could be a solution, it could be a problem. There's something that creates a bridge when you like something, just like a product or service. There's a solution that's given on the other side. Right. Okay, bet. What is the solution you're providing? It could be entertainment. Could be educational, could be inspirational. What is that thing that you're bringing to the table? Because I always say SS, people are simple and selfish. So what am I providing that's selfish? It could be I'm funny. It could be levels of education. I could teach you something. Yeah. It could be something where I inspire you. I motivate you to do something more. That's what I'm giving to you. Yep. That's where that light comes. And then we got the trust. And I always talk about the trust. That is one, are we consistent? Consistent don't say, man, I got to show up every day. Consistent just means, am I going to show up at the times that I said I was going to show up? Mm-hmm. I remember like when we watch sitcoms. Yep. Okay. If Martin ain't come on and they talk about, oh, now we running, what? Man, we going to have a problem. And I always talk about it also during COVID. Man, I didn't eat good. In COVID, I was up the street from my house. It's a Longhorn. Shout out to Longhorn. This episode of And This is brought to you by Longhorn. Come pick up your. We're not doing that. They ain't signed no check. But I went to Longhorn and I will always order. This is big back activity, real quick. So, but I'm extra regular too. I'm aerodynamic. I've been working out. I feel like I could cut through the wind a little bit faster. Okay. Shout out to all the extra regular dudes out here in these streets. But big back activity, I will order shrimp, French fries, 2 lobster tails, a salad on the side, baby back, not baby back ribs, but the ribs, and it was something else I feel like I'm missing. Perhaps some broccoli. So I will always do this.
Like that was one meal.
Yeah, but I mean, I would stretch it out.
Oh, okay.
One day I went up there though, they ain't had the shrimp. And the shrimp is the first thing that I asked for. That shrimp be fire. Okay, bet. Let me still get my baby back. Let me get my lobster. Let me get my fries. Let me get my salad. Let me get my broccoli. Second time I call. Nah, we ain't got the shrimp. All right, y'all, what y'all doing? Okay. Third time they ain't got the shrimp. Bet. I'm going to JJ's. I went to JJ's. Shout out to JJ's. If anybody ever went to JJ's, it is not healthy, but at the same time, it's probably
good. JJ's chicken and fish.
I'm about to bring out to the Holy Spirit when it comes to them daggone JJ's. But I went to JJ's. Why? Because the lack of consistency at Longhorn. So Right now we got to end this podcast. Okay, it's dropping. We're doing this. We're waiting for people. We're in season 2. People gonna be waiting for season 5. Seasons, like, are we consistent with that? So that whole know, like, and trust creates a relationship.
Yeah.
This whole thing that we're doing as influencers, as anybody, is a relationship. I meet you at an event. I meet you at a meeting. It is a relationship. And again, in that relationship, what is the feeling I will have when I come in contact with you? That's all it is. Now, there's more to it, but at the same time, that's all it is.
What feeling do you want people to have when they come in contact with you?
I want them to feel like they can let their guards down. You probably ain't had no interview like this. I don't know. I haven't watched season 1. Please forgive me.
Oh.
Okay.
Shade.
I've seen clips. Don't do that.
On the Instagram?
Yeah.
Not just the reels, but dang.
But
it's fine. I appreciate it.
Have you been this comfortable in the interview? If you have not, I'm very competitive too, so we're gonna get even more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I've seen your other ones. You feel like you stuffy. You got your little cards.
Really?
Or whatever.
You think I'm stuffy?
Okay, let me ask this. Let me do this. I want you to be comfortable. We're having a conversation.
Listen, I'm in my casual clothes.
Yep.
Okay. I lean back.
Yep. There it is.
I'm cool.
So can you say, Jose, can you talk to that camera right there? So Jose, this is probably the most comfortable interview. No, I say it.
But definitely comfortable. Anyway,
there
back to the evoking of the emotion.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, so you want people to feel like they can let their guard down.
Yeah, in regards to me.
Yeah.
Now, of course, with my clients, it all depends on who we talking to. Remember, who are they? What do they do? Who do they serve? How are they different? Like that's them, right? But in regards to me, yeah. That's why it's funny. Shout out to my guy, Darius Daniels. We've been rocking. Yeah, we've been rocking for a minute.
Church.
Yeah, we've been rocking for a minute, right? And we were at lunch in his office, probably 8 of us. He was like, Jose, I've been rocking you for a minute. He said, what do you do?
I've thought the same.
Yet at the same time, he was like, bro, I don't understand it, but you're here.
But yeah.
Like you're in the room.
Yeah.
How are you here? Then everybody else say they see me in other places. And I say, first off, if anything, if we're going to call it what it is, I'm a gap filler. But truly, when you're trying to put a name on something, again, it's a feeling. Yeah, it's so an irrational, emotional response.
Like
yeah, I do courses. I'm a brand guy. See, then I start thinking of the names, a director, a showrunner, all these different things. But again, that goes back into
what you do.
That box that you don't like to be in. But at the same time, there's a feeling that comes with it. There's an emotional response that you like, you know what? I kind of rock with this person. Or you don't. Either way, you got to be happy with that. You ready to go to your cars now or you good? I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. I told you.
Girl.
I said this was going to be different. Just a little bit.
And I'm here for the differentness. I'm here for it.
I love it.
I'm here for it. I ain't looked at my little cars once. You said, damn the cars. You ain't going to use no cars on me.
And I guess also just while she looking up her cars, ladies and gentlemen, true. The other thing I want to feel is that I have value. But I don't ask for nothing in return. Mm-hmm. That's if we're talking about what I want to leave this earth. I've done the math based off of the people that I deal with. I've probably touched over 100 million people, right? All 4 corners of the earth, people that I will never be able to meet, but based off of things that I've put in place and processes, procedures, and different attributes, I've been able to impact those. That's why I say I impact those who impact the world. My goal is to add value, even if I don't get nothing in return.
Have you ever felt like you've put your own ambitions, dreams, wants, etc., on the back burner for the sake of those that you work with?
There has been that occasionally. I never forget Willie Moore. Again, that's my guy. We were at the Next Level speaking event. And he was like, bruh, what up? He said, God told me you got to come from back behind the scenes. Willie Moore, I'm telling him what you said, man. I'm telling him what you said. And I was like, oh, no, God ain't tell me that. But the reason why I told him that even at the same time is because I'm more agile behind the scenes. When I'm in front, I'm great at being the number one, but I'm the best number two on earth. And the main reason, because I could be a number two over here. I could be, like I said, Jose as a whole, I might not be able at this time period reach 100 million people. But through this person, through this person, through this person, you got 100,000, you got 1,000, you got 10,000, you got 1 million, you got 150 million, you got all these different, like I'm able to now use my gift to be able to help out the masses. So at one point in time, yeah, I probably felt that. That's when I wanted, when I was Jose the Rapper featuring Jose Cinquentes. But in that same space, I didn't feel like I was being as impactful as I could. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have an audience right now. If we were working, now certain things of your thought process and our vision will work to be able to now touch and impact those people. My whole thing is I want to set the world up for my grandkids in a better place. Right. And that's by planting seeds of positivity. There's an old adage that say if the oceans were still, one drop will cause tidal waves at the shore. Every person I come in contact with, I'm doing drops, planting seeds, like everything. And the main reason, because I want to leave not just as far as every person, but this world better than when I came in it.
And that's real. I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Got serious again. There we go. Playing no games out here. First off, I like the show. It's
Oh, you ain't watching.
What has been, that's
you
true.
ain't even watch.
I still like what I like. What has been the best thing about doing this show? And then also, what has been the worst?
Oh.
Go.
So I would say the best thing about this show is I wanted another outlet to share one that I'm not in a box, right? And I feel like on social media, most of the time I have to put myself.
You mean now with your stylist stuff too. And I like it. You mean now. You I don't know, something done turned up within the last 5-6 months. You've been mean talking about people in their style.
Oh, like literally the word mean? You think so?
Feels, remember, irrational,
really?
emotional response.
It feels mean?
But that's not a bad thing.
No, I take that feedback.
Because people don't move off of desires, they only move off of pain. So you gotta move.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say I think I test different levels of how I'm feeling with, where people are, right? I think on some platforms it might be more of how you need to show up with your style on stage. Yep. And that might be more for like the LinkedIn audience, right? Yep. Like or executives.
Yep.
Right? On Facebook, I feel like it's a little more comfortable because of how we natively came to Facebook, right? So it's more friends, family, like people that you actually know. So I can be a little more cutthroat with them.
You got people. This is a good thing because you got people second guessing when they walk out the house.
I do.
That's a good thing.
I do. And so, but it's not even second guess. It's, am I showing up the best way that I can for what I am trying to accomplish and like what I'm trying to do, right? So it's not a second guessing of like who you are, but it's when I put this on, right? Did I intentionally put on this outfit to show up in the way that I want someone to perceive me who may not know me, right?
That sounds similar
because
to what
that's
you were
literally,
just talking about.
when 60 to 70% of people judge you based on your appearance and how they interact with you. So before they hear you talking, like they see it first. So I'm just saying, so they see it first. And so if they see you and interact and they're like, online, like if I'm online and I'm talking about style and I'm talking about showing up, and then they meet me in person and I'm a totally different version. I look, homely. I look, sloppy. I'm not put together. Like I didn't even try. I didn't wake up with the intention to try to show up as my best. They're going to be like, do I trust what she's actually saying? Like, do I believe? Like that? It's a disconnect, right? So they can't trust what you're saying because you don't look like what you're talking about.
That's branding. What is the feeling that I'm going to get when I walk in the room?
Period.
I always say, I mean, I'm definitely in a happily committed relationship now, but when I wasn't, I would go. I got to make sure I'm lined up, smelling good, nice.
Now, don't be not being lined up.
No. I'm just making sure. Again, that goes all too, because when I was going to maybe the Kroger or what they would call the K. Rogers, I would go to the K. Rogers. You got to smell nice. You got to, you know what I'm saying? The people you're trying to attract, you find out what's attractive to them.
Right,
so I got to present that way.
Right.
Same thing, Brandon. Same thing in regards to
I believe that style is a part of branding.
It definitely is. Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Definitely if you got a consistent flow. Shout out to you too, because you keep your hair pretty much the same too. I love my African American women, but a lot of them are transformers.
I mean, I have a couple of wigs, so.
I mean, they cool, but they ain't the same. Like we talked about the Beyonce joint. It was like one young lady, we went to her event that I was her brand coaching, and people didn't even recognize her when we was walking down. Because why? Her banners and her table and her book, different. All four of them look different. All different. But when you have a consistent look and a consistent feel, there's comfort in that. People feel comfortable. We've known some people who lost weight, and you first time you see them, you like, something ain't right. Remember when Luther? Shout out to Luther.
Yeah.
When Luther lost weight.
Mm-hmm. We said Luther was sick.
And and then they said, who sing better, Big Luther or Skinny Luther? Again, that's what happens. We are used to seeing something. There's a level of comfort in that. And Brandon is just not, again, that outward appearance. That's just one of them. But in regards to, but when I say, who are you, what do you do, who do you serve, and how you different, one of the easiest ways to figure out how you different is, I call them hater goggles. Mm. Hater goggles. You think about it. If you seen somebody who had their shoes run over, you like, shoes run over. Or if they dress, you know this one. You be like, that dress ain't. I don't like the way them patterns working with that leather and that those polka dots and the plaid. That ain't working. I don't know. It sounds like I'm saying like I know what I'm talking about. But the reason why you have the hater goggles on is because either one, you truly hate that thing, but innately you're like, oh, I could do it better. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to do something better than what you see somebody else doing, now you're like, all right, do we double down in that? I figure out what we are doing at a level, and then we become a caricature of that thing. So you think about it, if you go to an amusement park or the beach, or they'll sit down. For myself, I got a big forehead, I got little ears. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no jokes in the comments, but I do have little ears. I'm very self-aware. If they did a caricature, though, they would make my ears little, my forehead big, hat to the back, glasses, cheeks all fat and everything. They would do all those different things. But that's the same thing in regards to your brand. The things that you do great, or what we call your talents, we 3X, we 10X those. Your non-talents, we make them small. Those non-talents, again, because you can't be consistent with a non-talent.
Right.
Your talents or your gifts is one of those things you could be consistent with. You could show up all the time with it. You're like, oh, it feels like it's effortlessly. Why? Because it is. But a lot of times you gotta have somebody who can pull that out of you also. So you got the serious face right now.
No, because I'm thinking. It's like my thinking face. It's like I'm processing thoughts.
I'm with you.
Face.
I'm with you.
So I'm here for it, because I think I'm processing more of like, well, how is the message that I send being perceived? I think I actually am probably still stuck on like the mean part, because I'm like, I don't want to be. And then what platform is that you? I think it's also dependent upon the platform that you
Facebook
made.
Right now. Yeah, again, I watch.
It's more on Facebook.
Yeah, I watch this.
I'm a little spicy. over there, because again, they know me.
So here's the thing about
a little bit, right? It's so funny because Marty. Our another guest on our show, Marty told me to bring the Facebook to Instagram.
Hey,
he said, I need that, Jasmine. You need to be her on Instagram. And I said, Marty, I don't know if I want to show up like that, because like she's very spicy over there. She's very like cutthroat. Your outfit is fucking terrible, and this is why you need to change it. Like I always educate with the harsh truth, but on Instagram, it's a little more poised.
Polarizing. Again, first off, we care about what the end goal is, but polarizing works. I mean, I call it the Donald Trump effect. Either you love them or you hate them, you're still paying attention to them. When you're in the middle, people are like, oh, he don't stand for nothing. Mm-hmm. But if you're on, hey, that outfit is trash. It is what it is. They're going to remember you for that. Whether it's perceived as mean or not, it's not your goal truly in that to say how they're going to perceive it. I always say, if I was to give 7 teams in regards to like Legos, right? And I'd be like, hey, make a skyscraper and a train. All right, each team will make a skyscraper and a train based off of what they seen in their head. So yours might be big, yours might be small, yours might be fully red, yours might be the Empire State Building, yours might be the Twin Towers. But again, they all got the same materials based off of their perception. All you're doing is giving the materials out. All you're doing is showing up how you are consistently. You're being intimate in that thing. You are being vulnerable in that space. How they receive it is how they receive it.
That's real.
So when I say me, that's how Jose receives it. But I like it.
But somebody else might.
They be like, girl, I needed that. I needed that. That's real. So you bringing that, Jasmine, to IG?
We'll test. You know, I'm all about A/B testing.
Yeah, that's good.
So we'll test and tweak. This has been such an enlightening conversation. Like, you know, you never know what to expect. But I definitely
from Jose, I promise.
Definitely appreciate you being on the podcast. So I want to know, when you think of the words "and this," right, and all that it encompasses, what does that mean to you?
Here's the crazy part, right? I heard you ask that to a previous guest, and I did not have an answer.
Do you?
So, and first, when I initial thought was, and this or that, this or that. Well, who sing that? Black Sheep, right?
You can get with this, or
you can get with that. Yeah. That's what
Sheep.
initially I thought.
That's how you know people old.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
We seasoned.
Oh, we.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 80s babies, early 90s babies. We're here. And I'm doing all this because I don't have an answer for the "and this" question until she goes a little bit deeper. So go a little bit deeper.
Okay, so essentially, "and this" is about being your multifaceted self, right? You can be this and this. Yep. You can be a rapper. You can also be a powerhouse behind the scenes. You can also be a digital course creator. You can be all of these things. So it's about embracing the many facets of yourself, right? So with that being said, when you think of the words "and this," what's the first thing that comes to mind?
When I think of "and this," I think about being a great father, stepping into that space. Because again, remember I said, everything that I do in regards to branding is to create a better world for my grandkids. But that's external. Internal, I got to be a great father that's going to lead that and plant that seed to those grandkids. So it's internal. So that "and this," as I got serious again. Sometimes, you know, when you get serious, you get vulnerable. It's one of them feelings. So, but I would say "and this," even though the sentence reminds me of, remember we used to watch Jeopardy? You had to answer in the question.
Yes.
My answer feels like it was like a Jeopardy answer, but I hope it was sufficient enough. What you think?
It's whatever it means to you.
Was it sufficient though?
So do you feel, if that's what you feel it means to you, then it's always sufficient.
Let me ask you a question. What does "and this" mean to you?
Yeah, I happily answer. I think "and this" means, for me, showing up authentically in the season that I'm in now. So I think previously, I don't have children. I'm not married. So I think in previous seasons, I would look at that as a negative, right? It's like, oh, you are not this yet. So that means you either can't do this, or it's not going to happen, or you're looked at as this. And I think that in this season, I embrace all levels of where I am, where I'm going, where I've been. So that's what it means to me, is that, okay, I may not be this yet, right? Like I may not have the title of a mother or of a wife, but I am a woman of God. I am a God's daughter. I am a friend. I am a 90s R&B lover.
Let's go. Let's go.
Like I think it's more so just embracing, where I am in this season.
What's
my
next
life
for Jasmine?
What kind of interview turned?
What next? I know sometimes, because you know what? On social media, you talk about the dating and all that other stuff too.
It's very ghetto. It's
like reality TV for me. I love it.
So I would say what's next for me is just continuing on the path of growing, learning, and healing. And and letting God lead wherever he sees fit.
Amen.
I don't think it's about me.
The doors of the church are now open. That's good.
Well, thank you so much, Jose, for being on And This. This has been such a powerful conversation, like fun, but also serious, but also impactful, like so many things. So I definitely appreciate you being on the show. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of And This. Jose, please tell the people where they can find you.
Jose Black Dude with a Spanish name, aka Minnie Moore's Chestnut, aka Idris Elbow. Don't forget the elbow. Man, look, just Google featuring Jose. Just we don't even want. I don't put no websites out. We're not even doing none of that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you know where you can find me? On the And This podcast. Let's go.
Period.